Yeah, just find out if it's cool.
Hey Stephen, my name is Luke. I'm from WRC, and I was wondering if I could ask you a question, if that's appropriate, if you're okay with it.
Sure.
It's just really quick. I'm just wondering, do you have any concerns about the NDAA, the national... Sorry, go ahead. Let's take the picture.
Go ahead.
As a conservative, do you have any concerns against Obama's NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act he passed, where he could indefinitely detain American citizens, calls America a war zone? And there's also a provision that allows the military to condone animal bestiality in the bill. This was just passed by Obama on New Year's. I was wondering, do you have any concerns about that new law passed by Obama?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds to me like what you just described is a little scary.
Have you heard about it before?
Yeah, but I think the process will just take its natural course, and whatever there is about it that is unconstitutional or incorrect will be repealed, and I'll just trust in that. But I'm not really worried about Barack Obama. I don't think he's going to be around for very long. So
I hope so, but it doesn't look that promising. And I was wondering, do you still hold the same stance on legalizing marijuana as you did when you talked to Ron Paul?
Absolutely. People have their different opinions. That's what makes who we are and where we live such a blessing. But there's no question marijuana is a gateway drug. I know. I abused it for years, and it led to all kinds of other things. And I don't think there's too many people that abuse alcohol or cocaine or all kinds of other drugs that won't ever say that the first drug they ever tried was marijuana. Listen, when it comes to medical marijuana, I'm leaving that alone. If people feel Montel Williams is a guy that if he feels like that's a solution to his ailment, then that's between him and his creator. But I definitely think that if the profit from the taxation of alcohol in this country only profits the U.S. government $25 billion annually and costs the taxpayers $125 billion collectively. If we allow marijuana to be legalized, the same thing will happen. Listen, that's my opinion. I know it's true. You can't stop it. It's just what's going to happen.
Well, I respect your opinion. My last thing is there's many military and police officials and associations that says it causes useless violence. That's the kind of other part of it. Do you have a comment on that? And that's the last question.
Is that the same thing about marijuana?
Yeah, police officers and police associations saying that if we legalize it, there'll be a lot less crime. And they're calling for that, actually.
If you legalize it, there'll be a lot less crime?
Yes, because the drugs won't have, the gangs won't have a monopoly on it.
Well, I think it's uncharted waters, and how can we be sure? See, that's really the risk. How many more tens or perhaps hundreds of thousands of young people will be killed from driving automobiles under the influence of marijuana, or kill innocent people as a result? Is that worth it? I think that probably criminal-related activities and the taxation of that, or the damage from that, or the death from that, is far less than the outcome would be potentially from the legalization.
I respect your opinion, even though we may disagree, but I respect your opinion, which is great. But thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for this really quick. Just a quick question.
Are we talking to this guy? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. I just wanted to ask you a question about the war, about the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and Libya. Are you concerned at all that we're continuing this military-industrial complex by going to more and more wars?
Am I worried that we're continuing this military-industrial complex?
Yes.
What does that mean?
President Eisenhower talked about the military-industrial complex and how we should be, worry about them. And Congressman Ron Paul has talked about the military-industrial complex. It seems like really these.
You haven't answered my question. What does the military-industrial complex mean?
Well, war contractors. Oh, geez.
So the business of war.
Yeah, the business of war, yes.
Right.
Business of war. Are you concerned that really all these wars we're going into are just to profit the corporations that are funding these wars?
Well, I think when there's war, there's profit, certainly.
Right.
But if, we could go back in time, let me ask you, should we have stopped Hitler? Yes or no?
I believe so.
Yeah, well, see now, Mr. Ron Paul? Listen, I'm not happy that America's the world's police, but what if we hadn't been? It's that simple, brother.
We're $16 trillion. We're $16 trillion in debt, and you look at the fall of Rome and the fall of the USSR. They spend too much money on these wars. Are you concerned at all that we're just going to be flat broke? I mean, we're running on fiat dollars here.
Yeah, that's a big problem. So what we got to do is get rid of Barack Obama.
Well, it seems like. What about? Oliver North brought up Rex 84, the continuity of government agenda, so it doesn't really matter if we have a Republican or a Democrat in the White House, they're still continuing these wars.
Well, listen, obviously I believe that defending freedom and democracy when it's authentically justifiable is a good thing. I can't say that I know that whoever the next president is going to deliberately go out of the way to create some scenario, this X, Y, and Z, just to have war exist so that we can make money. It's quite conspiratorial, that line of thinking and philosophy. I believe that ultimately God is in control, and He allows what He allows, and doesn't allow what He doesn't want to exist. So I think that there's no question that going forward, when the president of Iran makes the statement that if he gets nuclear weapons, he's going to attack Israel, I don't think we can just stand by and let that happen.
What are your thoughts, finally? Congressman Ron Paul, he's received the most campaign contributions from the military, combined on the GOP side and on President Obama. Congressman Paul's stance is, not to be the policeman of the world, to end these wars, to bring all of our troops home from all the military foreign bases throughout the world. Shouldn't we listen to the soldiers who believe in Ron Paul's position, or how can the rest of the GOP field try to attract those military support?
Well, again, I just commented on the important thing here is going forward that Americans understand that the greatest freedom they have is the power to vote. Unfortunately, approximately 49% of our civilians don't vote at all. That's the biggest problem. I spoke earlier about conviction. We all have to get convicted and do our due diligence and do our homework and educate ourselves about what the issues are. If people want Ron Paul, then they should go for that. If somebody wants Mitt Romney, then go for that. Who I am as a born-again Christian, I believe that Rick Santorum is somebody that I believe, again, in regard and in respect to who I am, what I believe, what motivates me in my faith, I believe that Santorum is going to be probably what's best going forward. It's a tough question to answer, brother. It's really tough. What do I think about what GOP candidates should do about swinging, the military vote their way? I think that the smartest thing you can do is continue to have a strong military defense. It doesn't mean go out and utilize it, but I definitely think with, of course, all of that being handled within the accounting of all that and within the finance of all that in a way that's appropriate. But I definitely don't think we should downsize our military too much. I think there's probably a whole lot about how the military operates that could be revamped and created to be more cost efficient. But I definitely think the future is technology when it comes to the military. And I definitely think that we have to continue to have a strong military defense.
Thanks for your time, Stephen.
You got it, guys.
Take care.
Legitimate grievances with the government, I was watching a video where a guy was just ranting and raving about this whole thing, and I sat there and watched it and said, wow, if that's really true, that's some serious stuff. Yeah.
If the president actually had that power, then yes, that would be very dangerous, and that's something I'd stand against. That's something the Constitution stands against.
Where under the NDAA, he actually legally has that authority.